In this lesson, I will explain to you about equivalent ratios. First, I will explain to you what are the equivalent ratios, how you can do the questions of equivalent ratios, and at the end, I have made some practice problem for you. In this way, you will learn more about the equivalent ratios. So, equivalent ratios have the same or identical value. To find out whether two ratios are equivalent or not, write them as fractions. If fractions are equal, then ratios are equivalent. So simple. The focus is that whether to check whether two ratios are equivalent or not, you have to write them as a fraction first, right? And then you have to see whether these fractions are equal or not. If equal, it means ratios are equivalent. If the fractions are not equal, it means our ratios are not equivalent. So here now we are going to do some question to understand the concept of the equivalent ratios. See, we have two ratios, 16:8 and 2:1. So we have to find out whether these two ratios are equivalent or not. It seems that they are not, right? This is 16.8 and 2:1, but there should be some method to prove it, so I am going to prove it. See, 16/8, this is our first ratio, and second ratio is 2 divided by 1. So I told you to find out whether these two ratios are equivalent or not, write them as fractions. So these are the fractions. If I say 16/8, it means 16 divided by 8. And always keep in mind, we read it 16:8. So this 16 is numerator and this is denominator. Do not write down 8 in the denominator and 16 in the 8 in the numerator and 16 in the denominator. 16:8, numerator, denominator. 2:1, numerator, denominator. So these are the two fractions. Write them as a fractions and see whether we can divide these fractions or not. This one we cannot divide because this is 2 divided by 1. But here is 8 one time 8 and 8 2 times 16. So which is equal to 2 divided by 1. And which is same 2 divided by 1 the other ratios. So write them as fractions. If the fractions are equal, so now see these fractions are equal, it means yes, these ratios are equivalent. We can write down yes, these two ratios are equivalent. Another method to solve the same question, because I told you in maths you can have 2 or 3 different methods to solve the problem. So we have these two ratios. And we have written these ratios in the form of fractions, 16/8, 2 divided by 1. And this method is called common denominator. We have to make the same denominator, this one, same. Right? It is 16/8 and this is 2/1. So how can I make this 1 to 8? Because we have to make it. It is 1. It is very easy. If I multiply this 1 by 8, so 8 1 time 8 denominator, then it will be equal. But keep in mind, whatever operation we will do in the denominator, same operation you have to do in the numerator as well. So just multiply this by 8. So in the numerator we have now 16, 8 2 times 16. In the denominator we have 8, 8 1 time 8, which is similar to 16/8, same. So we say yes, these two ratios are equivalent. So these are two different methods. First is you have to write down the ratios in the form of fraction, and then we divide the fraction to check whether the ratios are equal or not. It is equal. The other method is you have to make the denominator same, right? Okay, we will solve few more questions to understand the concept. So it is 20 divided by 2. First ratio is, and I told you that you have to write down the ratios in the form of fraction. 20 divided by 12 and the other is 6 divided by 3. So you can divide it 3 one time, 3 two time, which is equal to 2 divided by 1. And here 4 3 times 12, 4 5 times 20, which is equal to 5 divided by 3. And check whether these fractions are equal or not. This is 5 over 3. This is 2 over 1. These are not equal. So it means no, these two ratios are not equivalent. The same question I will do with the common denominator. 20 divided by 12 and then 6 divided by 3. Common denominator. We have to make the same denominator. Here the denominator is 3 and here the denominator is 12. How can we make this 3 into 12? If I multiply 3 by 4, so it will be equal to 12. 3 4 times 12. If you do more practice, then it will be easy for you also. But here I will show you, if you do not know how you can make it 12. So this is the 12 because we want to make it 12. Write down in the numerator and the other is 3 only before. Divide it 3 one time, 3 4 time. So it means you have to multiply by 4. Another method is 3 what time 12. So we say 3 4 times 12. So multiply this 3 with 4. So you will get 12. But I told you, same operation you have to do in the numerator as well. So just multiply by 4. Because here we multiplied 3 by 4. So this in the denominator you have 12 now. But in the numerator 6 4 times 24. So you have 24 over 12 and here you have 20 over 12. These two ratios are not equivalent. No. Okay, here one more question. So the first ratio is I told you have to write down the fraction. This is 3 over 1. How you can write down 15 over 3? The other ratio is. And you have to divide 3 one time, 3 5 time. So which is equal to 5 over 1. And the first ratio is 3 over 1. These are not equivalent. We can write down no, these two ratios are not equivalent. The other method is common denominator 15 over 3. Right? You have to make same denominator. This is 3. How can you make this denominator 3? If I multiply by 3, 3 1 times 3, it will be equal. But the same operation you have to do in the numerator as well, 3. So 3 3 times 9 divided by 3. So this is 9 over 3, this is 15 over 3, which is not equal. Next question, same concept. Write down 8 over 10 and other is 1 over 5. So see 2 4 times 8, 2 5 times 10. This is equal to 4 over 5 and the second fraction is 1 divided by 5. So these are again not equal. So we will say no, these ratios are not equal. Here I will show you the same question with common denominator. Common denominator means you have to make the denominator same. This is 10. This is 5. How you can make this 10 if I multiply by 2? How I know 2? See, this is 10 and this is 5. So 10 divided by 5, 5 one time, 5 two time. And same operation you have to do in the numerator as well. So it is 2 one time 2 and then 2 5 times 10. This is the common denominator method. Common denominator. Denominators are same but numerators are not same. It means no, these two ratios are not same. One more question. One is 15 over 5 and the other one is 3 over 1. So we can divide it 5 one time, 5 3 time, which is equal to 3 divided by 1. And the second fraction is 3 divided by 1. Both are same. So yes, these ratios are equivalent. Right, okay, now I will solve this question with common denominator. See, this is 5 and you have to make this 5. How you will make this 5? If I multiply 1 by 5, 5 1 time 5, denominators are same operation you have to do in the numerator, so multiply by 5. 5 3 time 15, and the denominator is 5 1 time 5. Both have same numerator, same denominator. Yes, these ratios are equivalent. I hope that everything is clear to you, but still if you have any question, you can write down in the comment section. Here I have made some practice problems for you. So please, you have to do questions first, then you have your see or check your answers. But if you know very well whether these ratios are equivalent or not, you can see or you can check it directly from here. See, this is 1:2 and this is 5:10. So 5 one time, 5 two time. It will be 1:2 and this 1:2. But you have to solve it by using both methods. If still you have any question, write down in the comment section. Please do not forget to subscribe to my channel, Saima Academy. Thanks for watching.